Hi everyone! Today we're making a loose autumn painting that's perfect for beginners. This is going to be a fun and easy tutorial, so let's get started. First, make a sketch, simply marking the path and the main tree shapes. Just focus on those general outlines, no need to draw individual leaves. Next, apply clean water on the entire page, as we'll do the first layer all wet in wet. And remember to keep everything lighter towards the top and on the right, since in this case our main light source is coming from that direction. Let's focus on two key things for the first layer, using a very dilute mixture of color and working entirely wet on wet. Here I'm doing a base layer for this path with a mixture of cobalt blue and burnt sienna that gives us a lovely neutral color. Then use sap green to paint the lower half of the page. While working on the first layer, if the paper starts to dry out, feel free to re-wet the area with clean water. Next, make the tree trunks with a brown color. And here I'm using a mixture of burnt umber and burnt sienna. Then, on the upper half of the page, apply a light wash of cadmium yellow, making sure to keep the color darker on the far left. Once these steps are done, let everything dry completely. And now to make the second layer of the leaves, I'll use the following colors: cadmium yellow, cadmium orange, alizarin crimson, and burnt sienna. Take a big brush to cover larger areas with these colors. Try to keep everything towards the right and the top lighter. Also leave some of the first layer unpainted for highlights. Here I've started with cadmium orange, and then adding some alizarin crimson towards the bottom. Then add some burnt sienna, mostly on the left side. Now let's paint this section. Here I'm starting with a darker sap green. While it's still wet, drop in some ultramarine blue. Now add a second layer here in a similar way, using ultramarine blue and sap green. For a smoother transition, I've sprayed some water where this orange section ends, and now I'm doing a layer of green made by mixing cadmium yellow with cerulean blue. Now, while the paint is still a bit damp, I'll make the trunks, keeping them darker towards the left and in the foreground for more depth. Here I'm straightening this path a bit. Then I'll make some fallen leaves on the side of the road with cadmium orange and some burnt sienna. You can add more fallen leaves on the path if you want, but mine are aligned to side to suggest the path has been recently cleaned. Now I'll add some more depth by darkening these trunks with burnt umber, again keeping them darker towards the left. Here I'm adding some texture with the dry brush technique. When painting the branches, be sure to vary their visibility. Let some disappear and be hidden behind the leaves, while making others more prominent and visible in the foreground. This creates depth and a natural layered look to our scene. And for the smaller branches at the top, I'll use a liner brush. Now with the same brush, I'll add some texture in the grass in the foreground. Now I'll make some shadows with a mixture of ultramarine blue and Payne's gray. Here I felt this section was a bit too light, so I added some alizarin crimson here. For another project using loose style, make sure you take a look at the poppy field video right after this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.